And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. Trying to finish up a couple titles here on this city before we move on to a new one. Unless we can really unstick the city and get it growing pretty seriously again. Which isn't actually outside the realm of impossibility, I suppose. Yeah, all three fight pits are upgraded. So, unless it's just access, that'll get fixed. We should be getting to where we want to be. As far as fight pit is concerned, yeah, so you're up to 98%, so it should be able to go up there. It's just our poor Amevians that don't actually really want to go see the fight pits, obviously aren't going to the fight pits very often. But yeah, as soon as we get these two fight pits built, we're going to build some more housing to let more people in. Because right now we're actually controlling the migration. We told the migration no. We've got aspiring immigrants, although not very many. We are, in theory, actually storing up a little bit of money, so that's good. Are we trending up with food or trending down with food? I think we're trending down with food. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably trending down with food. So yeah, that does mean we probably want to make more food. What is your food preference? You don't want bread, don't want eggs, don't want fish. You do want the meat. You would like mushrooms, although we don't produce them. No one likes rations, but that's fine. You don't want the vegetables. Do the Nordorians only have 2 food preferences? Oh no, they do like fish. Let them have fish. Meat, mushrooms, fish. I suppose it might be. I might be getting confused with thinking that they. Yeah, they only have the 3 preferences. So it's 3, 3. Everyone 3? It might be everyone's 3. Thinking it was 4 for a couple people. Oh, the Garmithies are actually even 2. Okay, humans are interesting. Humans have 4 preferences. Most people it's 3. Okay, so that fighting pit's done. What about the one over here? Oh, this one's still got a bit of work to go. Probably because of the longer trip time over here. Yeah, it wouldn't be super surprising. Expand the housing over there as well. Yeah, so it's probably quicker to get the entertainer on people who are on the races that like all 3 speaker stage fighting pit. So Crotonians don't like the fighting pit, for example, so it'd be a little bit hard to get it on them. Dorian's pretty good. And then you can't start as the Cantors and Arganosh. That's just the other 7, right? So divide by 7. that's the struggle we're having here, is our people don't visit the fighting pits very often. Mild weather, so everyone's extra happy, and the colonies are extra close. Yeah, once we get these built, I think we're going to build more fishing. To try to get some more food coming in. In fact, the food stockpiles right now are declining. And I'd like to feed our people more fish. Right now we're giving them 3. I'd like to go all the way up to 4. I think it's all the way up to 4. Might be all the way up to 6. We're gonna have many servings we can serve, but we want to go up to the point where we get the maximum fulfillment from food, and technically at that point still be food positive. So that means I need fish, I need eggs. We also have fish as furniture, so yeah. Although, at the moment, based on our estimation of fish, we're not that bad. I will need more egg production as well. Yeah, and if anything, I need more egg production than I do fish, apparently. Although we're getting pretty good return on the fish. We're up to 7.5 per worker? I think that's 7.5 per worker. Is what that math is saying. 7.5-ish. And I think our people only need to eat like 4 servings of food a day. Well, actually, yeah, I think it's only 4 servings of food or something like per Amevian for their food at level 4 or something. So we don't even need half the town to be fish raised at this point. And as we build more, this will get better, right? We haven't maxed the experience out. Watching the odd person come wandering over here. This is a far period away from the local town. And to be fair, we do have a housing locality mismatch, right? So we've got enough housing for everyone, be it 65 people-ish aren't housed, which is a sign that the houses are where people aren't, right? Which is why the houses down here, for example, are empty, even though they shouldn't be. We have housing here, but the people who need houses need to be housed somewhere else. I suppose that's something we could actually check, which is where is our housing mismatch? Up by the river, mostly. I'm to believe that. Yeah, that's an argument to put more housing over here. Assuming I'm reading that right. Although at this point, I think this is actually somewhere our good soil, right? So I'd have to be putting on probably on the good soil. Although I could probably maybe put it on the till up here. Well, the till wouldn't be too bad. But at some point, I think we want to turn that into fields. And this might want to turn into lumber camps, which is why we haven't done anything with it. More accidents, that's fine. Someone employed there, someone employed there, but yeah, most of it's here. Surprisingly. Well, there's a little bit down here. Okay, the administrations here are a little overstaffed. The rest homes are a little bit out in the boonies. I'm gonna put this here. That'll provide more housing for the rest home area. Some of that didn't copy, right? Yeah, there's a lot more idlers in this area, so this is going to build a lot faster. Because people who are actively idle at their job will come do construction projects nearby. And then this little bit of forested area in here is probably actually going to become orchards at some point. If we run the city that long, it'll become orchards. Oh, anyway, we definitely see that people want to live in this area because the house is already full. Okay, let's let another 100 in. Almost finished the construction of that area. Here comes some odd jobbers. Well, some idlers coming by to do some construction. Almost there. There we go. And then how goes the construction over here? Still fairly slow because there's not a lot of people natively in that area. Yeah, double check on the homeless. Still pretty heavily oriented over here. That new housing sector has helped with the rest homes. There's none problem there. And that has improved the problem. We're down to 23 people classed as homeless. So, big improvement. And yeah, it's mostly in here. I go ahead and let's look soil-wise. So we're looking at something up there if I want to avoid the rich soil, which I do. see how that works. So this is close enough to town. This might get pretty heavily worked on. Get done pretty quickly as a side effect, because the farmers, when they finish their day, will go and do local construction. So we're going to get workers coming off the glibbening pastures and the vegetable farms and such nearby. Next work days, they're all for working and not building this. Yeah, we've completed one of the houses. People already moved in, so it's definitely a sign that we did need housing in that area. It might not be perfectly positioned for some of the housing, so we're going to have to hope that there's some shuffling about that makes it work better. Because it's some of the unhoused were out on the islands down here, and it's still quite a way away from those islands. Oh, they're not appreciating the level of fish going down. Fair enough. Yeah, that means it definitely means I'm at the point where we need to get another fishery going. Let's put the speed slow for while we're doing that. And yeah, we're gonna build another fishery. This one's not gonna have very great deep water access, or at least I don't think it is. It's gonna be a real big fishery, at least. There we go. So that'll employ 11 fishermen. I might as well go a little bit north so we can get a little bit more deep sea access for it. Good thing fisheries have to be connected, not compact, because this is definitely not a compact fishery. Okay. Do you want to do that lake? I could probably do the whole lake as well. Do something like that. That brings us up to 14, which isn't too bad. Do a storage. So, then we want a nice large hunk of auxiliaries. Like so. There we go. 14 fishermen. still got more places for fishing on that location. Yeah, but the more people in, we're not making enough, which is what's going on. People are getting grumpy, which is fair enough. Oh, went past the little neighborhood. Oh, and we're back to having housing issues around here. There's definitely places I can try to squeeze in some more. I need to just get more housing down there. Might also just be a little bit of a worker shuffle. Most of the overemployment, again, is in the warehouses, so as we bring more people in, it means more people need to find ways to live near existing warehouses. And then, oh, I haven't been keeping up on the retirement. Retirement has begun to decline. Although, do I have retirement facilities? I do. So 1,270 retirees is what I need to get maximize the retirement bonus. Lower the retirement age a little bit, get a few more people actually going to retirement. Yeah, because we have enough capacity to store all the retirees in the moment. We were going for a good bit there, and then we ran out of fish. So I think what happened is sort of stagnating the growth here. Hopefully we get the fishery constructed. That'll help a little bit, because we basically steal workers away from the warehouse to work on the fishery. I think we're working the deranged down. We have our asylum system up here. Well, there's maybe an argument that should be expanded, based on the fact that we're only treating 80 and we've got 280. So we got 209 people not receiving treatment right now. Okay, the fighting pits are going up slowly because our Amevians very rarely actually check to see if how good the fighting pits are, but okay, well, we're obviously not storing enough fish. Let's come into access here. Well, storing enough food in general. Drop the food target by a step. See if that helps to get food stockpiling again. We're seeing if this neighborhood will build. The question might be, or the reality, right, is because you don't have the odd jobbers, there's just no one to wander over there to build it quicker. What's my tech looking like? Apparently I have 300 more knowledge than I need. How do I want to play that? Probably do want the well in the long run. You know, let's keep the workers on knowledge. We'll grab the well and grab another food nutrition. And another maintenance. Okay. So the food one might help quite a bit, because it's going to reduce the needs of our people to stay at a particular food serving level. And the maintenance helps with just needing less people to do maintenance, and less consumption of things on maintenance. Oh, we're about balanced with furniture. The big cost on furniture was maintenance, so that helped a lot there. The cost on metal is maintenance. We'll be importing less metal. Means we'll be exporting more pots. Exporting back to probably exporting cut stone. Might have been at the point where we weren't anymore. Okay, we're sort of waiting for this neighborhood over here to build, but there's not very many people who can idle in the area over here, so they don't frequently get much help. Zero subject injured, 2 deaths. Okay. I was thinking about trying to build a fishery closer to civilization. It's weird that sounds, because then it would there'd be more idlers that can come wandering over to build it. You know, most of the people over here, and there are people over here, I think are the deranged. Being insane. Being insane, yeah. Although that actually makes sense as something to potentially build over here. Let's go ahead and build another insane asylum. Increase the treatment rate of the insane. Nope, we're being blackmailed. Don't pay the ransom. They might show up. Deathstalker Taurine. So, Deathstalker Taurine is 5,000 soldiers strong, so we're gonna have to pay up. Yeah, I'm still debating potentially tearing up the bathhouses and the massage parlors to improve our other stuff. Although they wouldn't be enough to fix the shortfall from the warehouses, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean I can build things far away from town, like the fisheries. With a fighting pit over here. Still have 13 unhoused. Over in the rest homes. Fishing concerns. Your fishers are catching record-breaking amounts of fish. Boats filled to the brim of fish are common sight, and storing this abundance may become a problem. Hopefully it becomes a problem. I don't really want to go over the fruit there. We could go with a smaller size, I suppose, right? Smaller one would fit in there. Stick a house in the corner here. Couple houses over there. Just to get some more housing near the rest homes here. Plus, this again is near farm labor, so it should be fairly easy to build up with the local idle workforce. Whereas the stuff over here is quite a way away from such concerns. The fish is trending up. That's good to see. Fish in the stockpile is trending up. They can probably turn around and start serving more soon. Yeah, so it's a couple in the house in the rest home. Turn up the food servings. Hopefully that helps quite a bit. Give them a moment, see if that allows them to find enough housing in the local area. So it looks like we have 5 unhoused. And if my yellow... Oh, no, we got one up here as well. Okay. That's a little farther away. And then up here as well. So it's a little bit of warehouse workers. Okay. Yeah, we've got 3. So there's 1 unhoused there. 1 up here. That's because I think we're going to get... Could technically shove another house down here, but that might not help. You know, shoving a random house up next against the border of the town is not going to be too bad, I think. Okay, well, let's distribute a little bit more food. This might not be sustainable after the fishery buff goes away, but if we get enough people in, we're going to expand the fisheries and expand the fisheries and expand the fisheries and hopefully over and over and over again. See how well that goes. Yeah, I definitely have enough housing for 100 more than that, so 6350, let it go up to that. About 300 insane. Oh, okay, so that building hasn't finished yet. That would be another building that would be nice to get done, because that allows us to treat 20 more deranged at a time, which might, if we can get ahead of the rate that we're producing them, should help drive the number down and get more working. Oh, of course, it's the homeless houses, or the rest homes here where we're got the unhoused. Could just put another house next to this, which I suppose what we'll do. No, actually, pause. We didn't quite place that right for optimal placement. I think they're making progress on the fishery. They've built the fighting pit, so that's good. The houses here would be nice, because that'll help with people housing near the fisheries as we expand the fisheries. We'll probably want to expand the housing as well, but... As you can see, we have more houses than we necessarily have people in the right places. Almost cleared. There may even be enough wood in the local area that they don't have to go too far for the wood. Of course, we have 9 unhoused. We built a house, adding 5 more housing to the local area, and that was how many unhoused we had. Now we still got the same problem, and still basically the same neighborhood. We got a little bit up here as well, I suppose. And a couple up in the farming area. Okay. Of course, this is because we're letting more and more people move in. And they're not moving down to where we have surplus housing. That's kind of what's going on. Although what might be partially going on is I build the tiny little house, build the apartment, so the rest home people move to that, which frees up housing, which then means we still have unhoused people at the rest home because they're just moving closer. Shove a couple more houses in the corner there. Gonna go up to 6,400. As we try to work down the odd jobbers, or actually get some positive odd jobbers so we can get some reliable construction far out here in the boondocks. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to get some housing on the island here. How big can it go? Not very big. It is a small island, right? Come a couple houses on that island. Cram a couple apartment blocks on that island, yeah. And of course these can be upgraded. Here we go. 36 unhoused, okay. So a little bit in here, so maybe built more apartments down there. The ones on the island here I haven't built. Those aren't really doing very much yet. Yeah, let's add another 2 to the line. You're not done yet. But we're making quicker progress over on the houses over there. Still got seven more days of that fish bonus, which was good to see. And again, as soon as we finish this fishery, we're just going to build another one. And then another one. And then another one. And then another one until we Finish up the fishing community over here. We're not going to worry too much about this island complex over there, although we could technically, I suppose, build a road out to it. Let's finish the fishing community here. We're going to go to the other end of our fishing area. We're going to build another community, and we're going to, again, do a bunch of fishing. It could probably... We're not using these hunters, right? I could tear the hunters up and replace them with housing. Do that to one of these, at least. You can do with some upgrades. Gets us some more housing, which means we can try to let more people in. Some actual odd jobbers, that's good to see. How long they hold around for, or hang around for, is a different question. Assume the insane asylum expansion is done. Yeah. Is the insane coming down? Probably. Fast, different question. I'm gonna actually start on another one. Because I think it's coming down, I don't think it's coming down fast enough for my liking. And again, construction work slowed down because we don't have enough odd jobbers in the area. Because we don't have enough odd jobbers. Period. A different problem. Got 40 unhoused, mostly in this area. We did have that area cleared out for housing. Let's figure out what sort of house we're going to shove in the hole. Probably didn't need to have that center wall. Could have cramped them a little bit closer together and get another road, another width of road there, but see how that helps with housing in the local area. Again, hoping they can get the fishery done so I can move on to the next fishery before our fish buff not only goes away, but that the fish stockpile collapses. Because at this point, we're definitely dependent on that fish stockpile. Or the fish buff. Is that one actually accessible? That one might not be accessible. Torch in front of it. Let's assume that it isn't. Set up another 50 housing in the local area, which should be good for the local housing market. Okay, turn the speed down. We're going to get a second fishery going over here. This is not the neighborhood we're currently trying to expand, but the one we're trying to expand is definitely struggling with not enough odd jobbers in the local area. One way or the other, I do definitely need more fish sooner rather than later. There we go. So that's the fishing area. So 21 fishermen. Expand an area over... because of how I expanded it south. Let's get a couple rows off the bottom so I can put storage up top. Okay, should work. Get that being built. Again, different batch of idlers should be the ones coming over here to handle this. So you up to 6,500. Okay, 100% cleared. We're waiting on the last 11 bits of wood to arrive. And it's assembly. Still have 15 unhoused people somewhere. Okay, the island, that's fair. That's pretty far away from places. We put 10 more houses up here, and they're still unhoused around here. And okay. So it looks like there's 10 places of unhoused, making up like 20 unhoused. Okay. Yeah, so I was just thinking the seasonal workers aren't able to wander this far. That makes having not enough odd jobbers real rough. Go ahead and serve the food and accept that it's going to run out at some point. Hopes that we can get one last burst of people moving in. Trying to get these workplaces working. And then from a innovation standpoint, we do want to get the fisheries to be better. It might be worth putting 2 more people on. 2 more people in the lab, and 2 people on the stone clay mine. Nah, just 2 more in the lab will be fine. Multiple houses here are almost done. Innovation's apparently over target. Okay. A couple more in here because that will hopefully raise the target. There we go. Let's see if that helps. Might need to actually add some more. Might have to add some more. Oh, we've got enough wood delivered. Let's just need to put it together. Yeah, the tools aren't worth it. And you need a lot for expert fishery, okay. That's tilled. Another thing to potentially work on is we do have rich farmland in here. Let's try to convert that to pasture land. Oh, that's about as big as we can make it. Okay. And the reason this is, I need to find some way to feed the people at this level. The Globinine pastures are probably good enough, worker for worker, to feed our people at that level. Just, they take a while to spool up. Because they're close to the farms there, they might build up a little bit quicker. Got enough innovation to pick up next one of you, or the next one of you. I think 1.5, I think it's the ratio we're roughly getting, so that's probably worth it. The next one probably isn't. I don't think we're getting that great of a ratio. Yeah, 1.5, 1.6. Yeah, almost 1.7 because of the other effect. The resource is costing us clay as well. 3.7 clay per worker. I think this eats. Is it eating one or this eating two? Eats 3/4 times 3. Yeah, a little over 2 per worker we put on here. So We're not making the clay quite efficiently. Well, I suppose what, it's 3 workers for every 2 on the clay mine, so... 5 makes 3 times this. Yeah, almost 2. Almost 2. Definitely, we started expanding it pretty aggressively. It get cheaper pretty quickly. The rains have stopped. Okay. How does that affect my fish? I don't think that affects my fields, because I think my fields are actually going to be protected by the irrigation I've done. Well, this one won't. This will get hit. Yeah, you're getting hit with the drought, but I don't think you guys get hit with the drought because you're... Oh, you're still hit with the drought. Okay. All the farms are going to get hit. Does that hit the fisheries? Doesn't look like it hits the fisheries. And the next question is, does that hit the pastures? Doesn't look like it hits the pastures. Okay. Hoping to get that online. Hoping to get you online at some point for more fish. These are building. These aren't necessarily building super fast. And that's just not having enough odd jobbers, really. You know, I'm going to steal all the workers from the massage parlors. I'm going to give up on them for the moment. Also tempting. How's the health looking? Health's looking pretty good because we got really high food servings for the moment. Let's steal the bathhouse workers as well. You know, I'm gonna let some more Thundorians in. Take them up to 30. Still hoping to pick up that fighting pit bonus at someday, but we're only 58% on the Amevians. We're waiting to be cleared, which just means there's not any odd jobbers in the local area, or free workers, idle workers. Fishermen work throughout the day. The fishery construction over here is also in the same sort of predicament, where we just don't have enough odd jobbers to get it done. And yeah, it looks like we're going to run out of food, which isn't really a problem, because we're overfeeding them anyway. It just means I'm going to have to turn off the extra food sooner than I'd like. I'd like to keep it that high. We're just not going to be able to. Oh, we are working down the number of the range. We're down to 212. Oh, and we actually odd jobber positive for once in a while. We'll see if that holds. If that holds, we can actually get some construction done in a semi-reasonable amount of time. But looking at the time, it's actually well over time that I put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. We're still trying to work towards the clumsy, which honestly I don't think is going to get done in an hour at this rate. Our guys just aren't having enough accidents. Suppose that's fine. Twitch chat saying, see, I'm only going to be taking a short break. I'm going to take like a 3-minute break to get up, stretch the legs, and sip some tea. So if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm just going to take a short break and get up and do this stuff. But yeah, we're going to record 1 more hour tonight after that break. The clumsy, yeah, the clumsy isn't necessarily a super annoying title, but it's just one you have to have patience. We're 181 accidents out of 300. Drunkard's a little bit annoying. Caretakers get the health up, which isn't actually, I think, that bad. The other one we were trying to do is heaviest to hands. We actually are getting pretty close to the heaviest to hands, so we'll probably pick that one up during the next one. We're also trying to pick up the entertainer. We've got the speakers, we've got the stage. We're just waiting on the fight pits. The fight pits are being a little bit annoying here because our poor lizards don't actually go look at the fight pits very often, so they haven't recognized the fight pits a better yet. In time they will. But yeah, we're doing pretty well otherwise. Sadly, out here we rule over desert empires. There isn't much expansion to do out here, unless they're going to build up the army to actually take over the neighbors. Although I have been procrastinating, double checking. Did we get up to 2.5 opinion? With a couple of them we did. Okay, so there's a couple of them here we might be able to negotiate colleague status with, if I can map together enough funding, which I think is plausible. We'll check that up in the beginning of the next part. So if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We can get a short break here to get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea, and get the ads out of the way. And then I will be back, hopefully, when the ads are done. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.